Hi there, I'm Paul Skeldon, one of the editors at Internet Retailing, and I'm joined by Ben Stagg, Head of Account Development at Barclaycard. At Internet Retailing, we recently undertook one of our white papers looking at customer service culture and the need for its development within the retail environment, and Barclaycard kindly sponsored and helped us out with it. We found that unsurprisingly, perhaps 95% of retailers in our top 500 that we surveyed view customer service and moving to a customer service sort of culture within their business as sort of business critical, really. It became clear that really they don't know where to start. They know the idea of where they want to get to, but how to achieve it is very difficult. So I'm here today with Ben to touch on some of the things that retailers can do, sort of instigate and initiate this sort of service culture, and what that actually means. Retailers do need to change what they do. They need to become sort of different to how they have been for hundreds of years. And that's difficult, and nobody really knows what it is defined as. What sort of do you see as sort of important in the services that make that up for retailers sort of today in the sort of here and now?
So what's really interesting right now is that there's this big scramble to become more of an omni-channel, all-encompassing solution for customers. But most retailers just really can't figure out how to do that and in the best way. What's really evident is that in the sort of mobile and online space, it's much easier to talk directly to your customers about things that they're interested in right now, and then make sure you facilitate that. You can manage stock, you can talk to your customers specifically about purchases they previously made, and deliver against the type of things that they really want. Whereas the in-store experience is far more difficult to make personalised. So what we're finding very much at Barclaycard is in all the conversations we're having with customers, omni-channel is key. It's how do you replicate a positive customer experience from the online environment, where it's much easier to talk directly to that customer, in an in-store environment where a random person could walk into a store, you know very little about them, and you've got to guide them to the things that they're most interested as quickly as possible so that you don't create those pain points.
And how do you do that? What sort of solutions are sort of available sort of in the here and now? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we'll come to later on about sort of what could be done. What could they actually do now? What could a CEO of a retailer come to you and sort of say, help? What can we do this afternoon?
Well, what's fascinating is many customers out there are already giving us the ammunition, if you like, to be able to provide a really personalised experience. We've seen recently that 1 in 7 payments are made on a mobile device. So one of the really simple things that you can do is you can say to a customer, actually, if you want to have a store experience that's personalised to you, come into that store, search for the items that you want, and then actually use your mobile device to make payment, or to complete a transaction, or to do click and collect. Make it simple for you. But you have to highlight this. You have to explain this to a customer. You have to be able to talk to a customer about those options. If a customer isn't that mobile sophisticated, and they're sort of a laggard when it comes to technology, make sure that your staff are really well trained, that they can use the technology that's available, things like mobile point of sale, things like the big terminals that are available that can show you product there and then, and again actually go through a payment process right in front of the customer so that you can close that sale and you can avoid what typically is happening with customers, and that's buyer's remorse. So the tools are available right now. They are being deployed in many retailers, and the customer experience as a consequence is vastly improving. But we have to make sure that it is a true omni-channel experience, and that we then take that data so that we can continue to improve that journey, give customers more and more of what they want, and avoid this situation where a single pain point could be the difference between that customer staying with you and going to one of your competitors.
Interesting. I mean, there's a couple of the interesting things in there that sort of chime with what we sort of found in the white paper. The first one is about the sort of staff element. I mean, staff are I think, increasingly crucial to this cultural change. you've touched on sort of mobile point of sale. What other things can be sort of done around staff to get them part of this culture?
Yeah, and it's incredibly important. I read in your white paper actually that sort of 29% of organisations are actually having a customer experience strategy arm to their business. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm seeing very similar things when it comes to payment strategy. And as a consequence, you're finding that big organisations that don't have a payment strategy or a customer experience strategy are falling behind. They're not creating a culture for their staff to really get behind a series of values that they can buy into. They're not training those staff to use the bits of technology that are available, to access the data that is available, that just needs to be mined and given to that customer to improve that experience. And as a consequence, you can see some real winners that are already starting to establish that. I really like the reference you made in the paper to JLP and the concept of partnership. You know, just a simple change in the name will help change the culture and the ethos of that organisation. And JLP are doing some wonderful things with technology, including stuff around mobile POS, but using it to really captivate the customer when they come in. And simple things like for very specific customer groups, a concierge service, someone available in store to help you have the best and most tailored customer experience that you're looking for. So for me, it starts very much with the strategy. Get the strategy right, you help that culture really thrive.
Brilliant, Ben. It's been really interesting. There's some very interesting things. It's good to hear that there's stuff that retailers can do right now. Before they do any of that, obviously they need to download the white paper, a link to which will be below this video. Read that, then I guess give you a call, and
Absolutely.
all their retail headaches will evaporate.
I'd like to think so.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ben. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Paul.
And thank you for listening.